All right, so Grixis control or blue-black with a small red splash control. So there's 10 red sources total in this deck, which along with a couple copies of Discovery might be enough. I think especially for the Nicol Bolas and Angrath on 4/5, 10 red sources is probably adequate. We might have a tougher time playing Lava Coil consistently early, but I think this card's also good enough that it's worth playing, even if we're not always going to be able to cast it on 2. Let's dive into a queue and see how it feels to start here. I do like that we get to play both Cast Down and Lava Coil. I think those are two of the better 2-mana pieces of removal. Line up pretty well against like the Drake's deck, for instance. Yeah, Spell Pierce is another interesting one. Spell Pierce is a card that more controlling decks tend to shy away from because it has diminishing returns as the game goes long. But this deck does have cheaper flying threats that it wants to protect on occasion, so we could lean a little bit more mid-range sometimes. I'm going to keep this on the draw with a Scry, because if we hit a second land, Discovery should help us find the third land. What I like to see as a reward for climbing the ranked ladder, I would like to see custom card backs, custom game boards, custom basic lands. Cosmetics are really the thing that you can cash in on as far as ladder rewards are concerned. Something that gives players something that's very unique and special, but doesn't give them a tactical advantage in the game. I think if they're smart, cosmetics is what they're going to want to lean into as far as the ladder is concerned. These are perfect, so I can play a tapped land next turn and then play an untapped land. I can go tapped land, cast down next turn, and then go untapped land, Nicol Bolas on 4. The whaliest of whales. Honestly, I'm probably just going to cast this down this turn. It's looking like they're potentially the big red deck, so I'm expecting things like Phoenix and Goblin Chain Whirler and Siege Gang Commander out of them from here. If they play a Phoenix this turn, I'm probably going to go land Vraska's Contempt rather than land Nicol Bolas. Yeah, Hex did a good job of leveraging cosmetics, I think. Angrath and Grixis, what's going on, Farsight? Thanks for the 3-month resub, I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. You don't think there'll be a crossover between the ranked ladder and paper Magic? I don't know. If I could predict the future, I wouldn't spend my time playing Magic the Gathering with that power. So, I have no idea what their plans are. You asked me what I'd like to see, and my answer was, I'd like to see cosmetics. Spell Pierce being good here. Feels bad, man. Hopefully they don't have another Frenzy. Sure. Let's get rid of that. If we hit an untapped land here, Angrath can kill the Pyromancer, which is nice. They could be little red. Yeah, the fact that we've seen Pyromancer and stuff now makes me think that they could be little red. I'm actually going to go ahead and Golden Demise here to kill this rather than Lava Coil, because Lava Coil can exile a Phoenix if they have it. It also kills Goblin Chain Whirler. Yeah, this is probably going to bury us. Oh, look, I get to do the incredibly useful thing of making them discard a card.
No steel.
Ray Mile, thank you for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate it. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that.
Fire and fury.
Is there a story behind the $10 cost on my frame? Yeah, it costs $10 to get your deck played on my stream. I mean, to set a bar that's incredibly low, this this beta for Arena is kind of better than Artifact's release state, so that's mostly because Artifact's economy is really bad. If I was gonna Golden Demise, why did I Contempt this Steam Kid? That's a good question. Probably shouldn't have. Hey, J. Dutch Mendy, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Yeah, me too, Ippity. I think by the time they get to set 2 or set 3, they'll probably have their stuff sorted out. Artifact already went backwards on their "we won't give you things for free" promise, so hopefully they're gonna get their economy figured out real quick. Hurly Burly Altars. They do professional Magic the Gathering altars. Actually, I have a couple of their basic lands here in front of me. Should probably put them in a non-gloss sleeve so they look a little bit better on the camera. So do I just play another Eldest Reborn here? Or do I play the Doom Whisperer? Eldest Reborn deals with their threat, which is nice. I think I'm gonna do this. Can I get a refund of my timeout? Yeah. Yeah, in my mind, the most obnoxious thing about Artifact so far is just how much they wasted their beta. Their beta should have done way more than it did. And they just, like, was a completely wasted opportunity, basically. Alright, so if I take their Dire Fleet, I can cast their own Lava Coil on their thing, so that seems good. Goodbye, friend. This blocks a lot of their stuff on the ground here too. The fact that I have a 6/6 and a 4/4 here could mean that I could just kill them in the air through this experimental frenzy, depending on how good it is, obviously. Like if they have a couple busted frenzy turns, we're gonna have a bad time here still. Wow, all right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my graveyard and start picking at their hand with Angrath, because if their frenzy keeps being bad, they might actually want to play cards out of their hand. This also pressures their health a little bit, which is nice.
No fire, no steel.
You're not the only one, Brickaback. Yeah, the animations on Angrath make him worth playing alone. They're very slick. This card's incredibly powerful. Woof. All right, I'll take it. I'll take it. A couple of moments. Another Vraska's Contempt. Hostage Taker's pretty good in the matchup like this. Scatter also seems fine. I want to trim some of my top end here, I think. Sabotage probably isn't stellar. Spell Pierce actually seems really good. Would I rather trim Eldest Reborn or Angrath? I think it's Angrath. I think Eldest Reborn being a real threat is worthwhile. Like getting back my Doom Whisperers and my Nicol Bolas is also reasonable. You can buy packs with your credit card. So just like most digital card games, you can give WotC money and they will in turn give you booster packs. In addition to opening packs, cards that you could potentially want to play in booster packs, as you open booster packs, you get guaranteed wild cards. seems fine. My credit card's my best friend. It's the best card in Magic the Gathering, the credit card. All right, so even though I have Ritual of Soot here, there's no guarantee that I'm going to get to 4 lands on time, and Runaway Steamkin often lives up to its name if you leave it unchecked, so it could, like, generate a lot of mana. So I'd like to get rid of this. So I'd really like to just draw lands for the next 2 to 3 turns. Brainstorm up ideas on what to put there. Sure. I think I'm going to take this hit here so I can hold the Essence Scatter up. And now, like, obviously I'm down 2 points of health, but the upside of being able to scatter something here is, like, pretty reasonable. Merry Christmas to you too, Shuller. Thanks for the 3 months. Welcome back. Hope you're having a good holiday season. How dead is this Thief of Sanity? Scale of 1 to dead. Very dead. Got it. As much as I might want that Doom Whisperer later, getting my 4th land here is pretty important. I'm like trying to curve out to 5 is good as well. And I can pick the Doom Whisperer back up with the Eldest Reborn, right? Hopefully they play another card that dies to this Ritual of Soot. Perfect. 2 more cards that die to Ritual of Soot would be good as well. All right, don't get greedy. Take your 2 for 1. Woof. Punished. Well, I think I'm just supposed to cast this down here. Just not be greedy. The problem with Contempt for mana efficiency is if they play a Phoenix as a follow-up, I just like curl up in a ball and die, right? Alright, so here's the play to win line. It's take Siege Gang Commander and hope to untap with this Hostage Taker and draw a land. I'm gonna concede when they kill this Hostage Taker. Listen, sometimes you gotta roll the dice, okay? All right, go put Golden Demise, please get back in my deck. So their deck has a lot of beef at the top end, right? Do I want these Thought Erasures? I kind of feel like I want the Thought Erasure or 2 in my deck. I don't know. Yeah, they have a lot of tokens, which makes Reborn a lot less appealing. Just like do that. Like don't have a ton of time to play with this. I think I'm gonna do that. Nah, I'm a big fan of Spell Pierce in a matchup like this. Like one mana is pretty efficient. And like Spell Pierce or Duress becomes dead once they get into top deck mode later. I mean, they have a bunch of removal spells, and they have multiple experimental frenzies. They're probably on a 4 frenzy build. Father Frodo, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. Welcome, welcome. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, all that jazz. Thanks for the support. All right, what do you got? This definitely feels good. Ding, ding, ding. And Nikki B is perfect. Let's just go ahead and, like, play tapped land plus cast down next turn. And have Nick the following turn. I'm gonna go ahead and kill this now before they can untap and deal another damage with it. Mono punished. Make bad decisions and die. Yeah, that was bad sequencing on my part. That's true. We do get to hold Bolas until I have Spell Pierce up, which is nice. Potentially lets me save him from double removal. Still pretty bad against Lava Coil, but we're always going to be bad against Lava Coil. No blocks. I don't want to trade this for a token plus a Lightning Strike. Oh, what a tilt. What a massive tilt. Woof. Why are you not dive down, card? Why are you not dive down? And this is a good example of, like, why control decks tend to shy away from playing cards like Spell Pierce, because they tend to hit pretty diminishing returns like this as the games go along. Whereas cards like Negate or, you know, Dive Down tend to always be on. I'm gonna wait to cast down here because I could draw a Sweeper, which would kill both of these. Well, Blink of an Eye is even different from Spell Pierce too, because, like, Blink of an Eye says that, Blink of an Eye says draw a card on it, which is a big deal. JT Donuts, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Welcome. Or I didn't tap out of double black. Please discard a Banefire. Oh, they had the second Banefire. Get out of here.
No one can stand in my way.
I love Bolas. Get back your other Bolas. No! No! What the fuck just... Magic Arena! What did I just do there? What just happened? I'm gonna have to go back and watch the clip because I don't understand how the interface just did that. I genuinely have no idea what just happened with the interface there. And now they're gonna get to Vraska's Contempt by Nicol Bolas. How did it slide back to their graveyard, though? Why would I Spell Pierce this? Why would I Spell Pierce this? Did I click something? Did I click a button Like my cursor was in the middle of the screen, right? Thank you for the clip. I'll go back and look at that in a second after we finish the game. That's fine. We just wanted this game to be a challenge, right? We didn't want the game to be too easy. I'll watch the clip. I'll watch the clip in a second. That's fine. It looks like we're still winning this game. And again, we're just like, not like there's anything on the line, right? Like, it's just, I want to see if I made a mistake or if the interface had some kind of issue, because I'm not actually sure what happened there. Because if it's a bug, we should report it. But if it was me fumbling with my ham fists, then it's not exactly a Magic Arena's issue, right? That's fine. I was conceding before they drew the shock. Let's watch the clip together, shall we? Yeah, for some... Stop it. Yeah, so it looks like when I clicked, it looks like I clicked on Vraska's Contempt. Like my mouse is over the Vraska's Contempt, and I click on Vraska's Contempt, and then clicking on the Vraska's Contempt made it change graveyards. So, like, obviously, the issue here is, like, whatever this mouse over issue is, whatever, but why did it change? Why did it change to their graveyard when I clicked on Vraska's Contempt? That's the issue, right? Like the me misclicking is like, that's obviously an issue with me mousing over the wrong thing. The issue with Arena here is like, when I click on Vraska's Contempt, it shouldn't change to their graveyard. An illegal target resets the view. Something like that, probably. That's fine. So the deck would have won that game in that match. Not really a big deal. At the end of the day, it's fine. Just, you know. I think I'm okay with what we have so far. These spell pierces, I might tilt off and get rid of these spell pierces. These spell pierces seem real mediocre. I think I'm gonna replace these spell pierces with one dive down and one negate, because those cards do similar things. And besides, control decks are more fun with one-ofs in them anyways, right? I'm super excited that we're getting to play against real decks in the traditional queue, though. So that way we can make changes in between matches like this. In the words of the greatest poet of our generation, we just have to shake it off and move along with our lives here. Having it only show legal targets with a button to see everything would be reasonable. Yeah, it's just a type of card that has a lot of diminishing returns, right, J-Demp? So, like, this deck doesn't quite have the same closing power that a Drake's deck does, so Spell Pierce is going to end up being bad in more games in a deck like this than it would be in a more aggressive decks like Drake's. Rob D7, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Yes, yeah, I agree, Hippity. The fact that it zooms in really big on things when you're mousing over it isn't fantastic. Yeah, so far today we've played against like all real decks or cards that just like don't have a bunch of budget constraints in them. So there must be some kind of MMR in this, or we're just getting lucky, one of the two. So this is really aggressive, but I'm gonna sabotage here just for the sake of mana efficiency and for the surveil, because like next turn's Nicol Bolas and the turn after that is Angrath, and look at that, we even got them to miss a land drop, so that's like good for us here. Rawr. Them getting to discard a Phoenix isn't amazing for us, but like they were gonna get to discard that tyrannical idea anyways, right? Woof, that's a lot of birds. How aggressive or conservative do I want to be here?
Fire.
So if I attack with the Bolas and they flip, that's a lot of birds. Woof. That's a lot of birds. All right, I think with the third bird, I just hope they can't flip them out. We're playing Cast Down and Lava Coil. As always, you can find the deck list on my screen via the Stream Decker widget. Alternatively, you can type !deck in chat to get a link to the deck list directly. This is about to be the fourth bird. Maximize velocity. That means if they have a red source here or a 1-mana spell, probably dead. They get to maximize velocity, my Nicol Bolas. Or shock me, sure. We might have helped them with this a little bit. We might be partly to blame for the birds that are currently occurring on our screen.
You'll be in fire and fury.
I think I'm just gonna go ahead and pass here. Just like plan to contempt one of these and block another. This is a viewer submitted deck list. No, because they have the maximized velocity here, I think it's right to wait on the Vraska's Contempt so I can exile something like a Drake here. I'm not beating a Spell Pierce this game, chat. Like Spell Pierce and Dive Down, if they have those cards, I'm just dying. One of the best things you need to learn to do as a player is recognize when you can actually afford to play something, beat something, and when you just can't afford to play around things. And I think we're in a position where we're far enough behind that if they have a protection spell, we're just gonna die, and we just need to be okay with that. So if they have a string of cantrips here, we're gonna be in trouble, but if they don't have a bunch of spells in their hand, we can actually be en route to stabilization here. Deal. Because I didn't have another Bolas in my hand, Cola, I drew the Bolas for the turn. Also that. this over.
I have defeated death.
I would like to get my Bolas back here very carefully. That was probably the best draw on their deck. It gives them the best chance to, like, radical idea here is the, yep, so they're pretty likely flipping 3 birds back into play here. It's unfortunate. Yep, they kept one on top, so I'm assuming all the birds are coming back. The Phoenix deck is just so powerful when it gets going. It's like 3 Phoenixes in the top half of your deck. They had like 3 Phoenixes in like the top quarter of their deck. It's very, very strong. I do have 1 copy of Golden Demise in my deck right now. So I get 3 draws at that. If I get Angrath and kill Electromancer Korluski, I'm still dead. They still put the Phoenixes back into play here. It would have cost them 5 mana to go Chart of Course, Discovery, Opt. They wouldn't have been able to play this last Electromancer, but it's like really not a big deal. Do they want to pressure me, or do they want to kill my Planeswalker? I think they want to just pressure me. I think I like their original attack, which was hit me for 8. Yeah, I think this is the correct line for them. This is like the play to win line. So I could technically Bolas, shoot an Arclight, Dispersal another Arclight away, and then not. This only does damage to player or creatures or planeswalkers, so I can't kill them with this. This card would be real busted if it could send a player. I think the play to win line is draw 2 cards here, though. Vraska's Contempt's a good hit. Well, I mean, they have to have a bunch of instants to get things back. So do I want a Discovery looking for more? I think I just want to play Thief of Sanity and just hold up Contempt here now. Make sure I don't die to shock here. Because making the attack that I did there encourages, not showing them that I had the thing encourages them to attack with everything. And I think that's fine. The difference between Bolas being at 2 and 1 is actually identical in this matchup. I get that you're a Magic player and you want to be technically correct, and you are right. You technically correct. It's optimal to block the other way, but in the actuality, it just doesn't matter. Oh, you know what? I'm supposed to just bin both of these. A little bit of fumbling there on my part, but ended up coming through. Ritual of Soot and Golden Demise are awkward. Mana cost is the consideration. Being able to use Discovery as a cantrip there. Is Angrath not good? Angrath kills This is a removal spell for their 3-mana Drake, which is a card that they're playing, so I think that's worth keeping. Yeah, I think Hostage Taker tends to be okay in this matchup. Scatter seems fine as well for countering their Drakes. I think the Thought Scour is good. I'm not a huge fan of Duress in this matchup, but the fact that Thought Erasure can take spells out of their hands is a big deal. Maybe trim Sabotage because it's expensive in terms of mana. Just like bring in more cards that are more efficient. I think I like this. Yeah, this standard format is the best format of Magic I've ever played. It's very, very good. And hopefully it stays that way once we add more shock lands with the next set. Noon 30. Might be time for some lunch. Or some snacks at least. Fruit. It's fruit cup time. It has a bunch of tap lands in it, but the spells are good, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep it. Someone else mentioned Midwest snow yesterday. Wherever that's happening, it's not in Illinois. It's like 50 degrees and raining here today. I think I'm gonna bottoms up on these. I've got plenty of removal spells. What is 50 degrees Fahrenheit in actual units? I'm not sure what that converts to in Kelvins. If you Google it, you can probably figure it out. That card is terrifying. And this is one of the things about Grixis. So my favorite thing about blue, black, splash, green is that the green splash gives you answers to problem permanents like enchantments, whereas the Grixis, the red splash, doesn't give you the ability to do that. We do at least have Doom Whisper, though, which is a 6/6 to play through this, which is nice. This is the second standard deck of the day. Believe it or not, Magic Online had a server-side crash this morning, so we started playing Magic Arena a little bit ahead of schedule. Second Nick's not a bad draw, because they probably need to kill this first one, and then we'll get to play the second one out. Yoink!
Your crew for my freedom.
Your crew for my freedom. Are you talking about Vivid Evacs next? Listen, Hippity. Everybody knows that Nano is the superior editor. Come on now. Woof. That's a woof.
shiver my horns and hammer.
Nano doesn't make me Google how to close it when I'm done using it as my text editor. That's all I'm saying. That's fine. We're still in a pretty good spot here, right? And worth noting, small thing, but you'll notice I Chupacabra'd the Nicol Bolas and Lava Coiled their Electromancer because I'd like to be able to Memorial to Folly my Nicol Bolas back later. This is a sweet draw because it takes the card out of their hand and it lets us trade with the Crackling Drake. I guess that's a good question. I do probably just want to take this and flip, huh? 12 is still a pretty high health total. I think I'm like snapping off this negate on most things they cast here. It's a little awkward. Yeah, it's our wing condition isn't super slow. We've got like Nicol Bolas's and Doom Whispers and stuff that could kill the opponent. I think I actually like playing Doom Whisperer first here. And then I think I think I should have traded last turn, actually. I think that's what should have happened. I should have probably traded last turn. Because, like, if they attack this turn, I'm taking the trade. Like, I have this Memorial to Folly sitting here to pick a creature back up with. So, like, trading this off, I still end up with it getting back in the long run. If they make the ladder best of 3 at some point in the future, I will definitely play it. All right, so now this attack means I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. Since they did an attack with this one as well. Maybe I save this for the next one.
Kneel before your god.
Kneel before Zod. I mean your god. All right, so I get to go ahead and get Angrath here, which yoinks the Enigma Drake.
Here be your crew.
Let me borrow that one, please. Attack all. This card's so good every time we play it. This card just constantly over. I am super excited to play Black Red mid-range with some Blood Crypts. Just super into what that deck's doing. How are we doing, folks? Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for dropping by here today. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. If you are enjoying my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed here full-time. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their wonderful support. By subscribing, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. The NRG Championship Series is a $5,000 cash tournament series that does tournaments every single month in the Midwestern United States. If you're not located in the Midwest, you can also check out their wonderful coverage every single month on twitch.tv/NRG series. Adman, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime support. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here this month with that. Cardsphere.com would love to help you turn your cards into other cards directly to the players. There's no haggling, and they just take 1% fee off the top. They also very recently added a draft simulator to their website, so if you want to check out some awesome limited stuff, be sure to poke on over there. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. You can upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of custom artwork that they have on their website, such as my own Hoaglandia branded merchandise. D-Zang with the 2-month resub on the Twitch Prime. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. And of course, I'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hoaglandia. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now, and I appreciate you choosing to spend part of your time here with us. If you find yourself enjoying my content, whether it's the variety of decks I play or the way I break things down while I'm playing, be sure to check out my website and my YouTube channel as well. Basically, everything I stream gets archived to those places, and I cut them all up by deck, so you can watch just the stuff that you care about. You're here to make me craft Angrath, aren't you? Probably. He's quite fantastic, and the animations alone kind of make him worthwhile. Both his +1 and his -3 are just fantastic animations. Although, fair warning, his +1 and his -3 animations do set you up for disappointment if you choose to ultimate him. His ultimate animation is very, very disappointing. Socio Penguin, my favorite content creator on Twitch, happy to defend the realm. Thanks for the 3 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. The guys in the Hoaglandia picture are people who have contributed a good deal to help me stream here. There are folks that have cheered lots of bits, donated lots of dollars, gifted lots of subs, all that jazz. Those are Anironix, Justin, Nivik, and Admiral Vortex. Yep. All right, my old man back starting to twinge again. We've been sitting for about 45 minutes. Let's go ahead and stand up here. I think I want to sabotage this, just to use my mana for the turn. My opponent also stumbled on land drops, so like stopping their explore trigger seems valuable. And I think I would like to guaranteed hit my land next turn. Can you pay additional monies on Twitch Prime to upgrade the tier? It doesn't, unfortunately, Socio Penguin. So if you're a Prime sub, they don't give you an option to add $5 and upgrade to tier 2. I should send that feedback to my Twitch person again, because you're not the first person to ask about that. Bob, thanks for the Twitch Prime support. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here this month. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. I appreciate you sending that my way. All right, so they've hit their land drops. Nick at least keeps this Wild Growth Walker in check, so that's nice. So do I want to play a counterspell this turn, or do I want to... I think I'm just going to play the land and pass for now and hold up Contempt / counterspells. Because ideally, I'd like to keep my Nicol Bolas alive here so I can eventually flip him over. Contempt this here. They don't have that many instant speed cards that kill Nicol Bolas. Thief of Sanity is a very, very good draw. I'm just gonna pass. Yeah, exactly, the Great Aura. The fact that you don't have to worry about getting priced out of cards on Magic Arena is quite fantastic. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. That could be a concession negate. That could, in fact, be a concession negate. Father Frodo asked about upcoming decks. You can always find decks that we're going to be playing upcoming on the stream in the deck queue. So all the things that we're planning on playing coming up are listed on my website. I'm just going to go ahead and just play this and hold the sabotage up, because if we just keep protecting these things, we're going to win the game. Things that Sinister Sabotage are less good against that. Alright, and I'll never forget that the best answer to an opposing Carnage Tyrant is your own Carnage Tyrant. So hopefully Thief of Sanity here is going to find us something. One Carnage Tyrant, please. Grab that for later. Go ahead and play Doom Whisper out here, because our 6/6 can block their 7/6 nicely. Although if they have something like Cast Down here, it is going to eat our Doom Whisperer. Finality would be a good hit for them as well. They have a big fat nothings. This game should be pretty over here at this point. Oh yeah, it also puts Lethal on the table. That's true, they're actually just dead, right? Like they can't hit me for 16 and I have 12 in the air. Ad nauseum Philly, thank you for the 11-month resub. One more month to a real sword indeed. Thanks for the support. This is definitely the Star of Extinction matchup. This is a Thought Erasure matchup. I'm actually not a big fan of Eldest Reborn here, so the black-green decks tend to have a lot of filler cards that surround their Carnage Tyrant, which makes that card a lot less appealing. Golden Demise doesn't line up fantastic into a lot of the stuff they have going on. Dive Down seems good for protecting our Thief of Sanities and our Nicol Bolases. How do you feel about Sabotage? I think I'd rather just like have the discard spells, especially on the draw. A little bit more efficient. What do we think of this configuration? Do I want the 4th Vraska's Contempt, or is that a little bit too much clunk? I think Chupacabra is pretty important. You want to kill things like opposing Doom Whisperers, and when Wild Growth Walkers get out of control, you need to be able to take those down. Off the top of your head, what would it take for me to appear on an esports guest at an event? I don't know, probably being invited. I don't think Moment of Craving is quite good enough in this matchup. I like Fungal Infection against the black-green deck because it's really mana efficient, but Moment of Craving's like not that much better than Lava Coil or Cast Down. No, I think Lava Coil's pretty good in this matchup. Being able to exile Wild Growth Walkers on the draw is pretty good. Pretty important. Turn 2 Thought Erasure, what's not to love? I love that Thought Erasure helps us hit our land drops. So like one of your biggest worries with a hand like this is just like not hitting your lands on time. So the fact that like this surveils on 2 to help you dig deeper to do that feels quite fantastic. Wanna come? What are the payoffs for red over Carnage Tyrant and Find Finality? Mainly Nicol, Bolas, and Angrath. Lava Coil's not terrible either though. Lava Coil is definitely like one of the premium removal spells in this format. So having access to that is not nothing. Take your threat, bin the thing that's not a red source. And you'll notice I kept the Discovery on turn 1 with my Surveil, with my my Mulligan Scry, because this will help me dig pretty deep looking for a red source here. Yeah, one of the important things when sideboarding, this is one of the things that makes sideboarding really difficult, right, is that sideboarding is a one-to-one process. So sideboarding isn't just about finding cards that are good, it's about finding the best cards. If I keep this Doom Whisper, I'm like pretty likely to miss my 5th land. I think it's probably worth keeping since it's a really powerful card. The best way to like get through the removal spells, just like play a bunch of threats out. What split on removal spells you want to run depends on a few things. One of those things that it depends on is what threats you want to hedge your removal spells against, and also what what's the word I'm searching for? What threats you want to hedge your removal spells against, as well as what your mana base looks like. Probably gonna see them ditch this here. Although I guess they can keep that because they could Memorial to Folly back the Jade Light Ranger. All right, I guess I'm gonna, do I want to Contempt something here? I think I'm gonna Contempt the Merfolk Branch Walker. It gives me a little bit of extra health to work with here, so that way I can hammer my health total on the Doom Whisperer for a hot second to try and find a red source. Eating and standing at the same time is very dangerous, chap. It's probably not something I should attempt. I think I want to keep the Thief of Sanity there, actually. It's probably fine. So if they don't have another removal spell here, the Thief could potentially take over the game. So like they can Memorial back the Jade Light Ranger, but they need another land to cast it this turn, so they have that. So they can Jade Light Ranger this up to a 5. Interesting. Chupacabra. So that was a pretty big mistake on their part. So they forgot about the fact that I have a Thief of Sanity in play. So this Thief is going to take that Chupacabra next turn and then play it and eat the Wild Growth Walker. So Thief of Sanity makes their Explorer triggers really, really awkward, which is a big upside that it has. One Thief of Sanity trigger, please. The Memorial to Folly is a little bit premature there, because they could have potentially, like, hit something better, right? Yeah, I'm currently doing my best blue-black deck impersonation. It's been a minute. I totally forgot to submit my deck for this month, so is it okay if we play Spirit? You would like to bump Spirits, Nick? Is that what you're saying? If so, I can totally do that. So I'm assuming they're going to ditch the Carnage Shard here so they don't make the same mistake again. All right, well, apparently my opponent... How many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man? So do I Angrath and take the Jade Light Ranger here? I think so.
You're just fuel for the fires of freedom, Cur.
Gold Dead, do you have a tier 2 or a tier 3 sub? Just so I know what to do and what to confirm. The Polyraptor combo is sweet. So Amazon Prime and tier 1 subs don't get to bump a deck every month under my queue system. I would just get flooded otherwise, unfortunately. So Amazon Prime and tier 1 subs can add decks to my queue for a much cheaper price. So it's only $10 to add a new deck if you're subbed to the channel. But I don't give out free extra points for just the base level subs every month. It's the tier 2 and tier 3 subs that they support a little bit extra, so they get to add something or bump something.
Ah, you'll be shiver my horns and hammer.
Shiver my horns and hammer. Sounds good, Nick. Thanks for the support. I think I'm probably gonna end up doing 2 Magic Online decks tomorrow morning then, because we had a big bump for one of the Legacy decks too, so I'll probably do Spirits and that. Yes, if they didn't take the time to kill Angrath, I could have potentially been dead this turn. My opponent chose to prioritize killing my Planeswalker instead of me, which is working out for me. That's one of the interesting things about Planeswalkers, right? They create like these sub games where players are required to prioritize what they want to be doing. Yeah, it's probably fine to leave on top. So my opponent's kind of aggressive use of the Memorial to Follies is a little bit of a mistake. So if they would have left Memorial to Folly uncracked here, and when I go to Nicol Bolas here, I wouldn't be able to take a creature out of their bin because they would just grab the creature that I'm targeting in response. But because they sequenced in this way, I can actually go ahead and just like take the Ravenous Chupacabra and shoot their Merfolk Branchwalker here.
Must be done.
I know what must be done. I am Nicol Bolas. We're actually dead to a removal spell here, huh? Maybe I'm actually supposed to play these two. I'd still dead to a removal spell if I do that. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Did I mismanage this here? I think I was supposed to. Yeah, I think I was supposed to down-tick Nick and kill their Land War Elves. Oh, I could have sacked Nicol Bolas. Oh, yeah. Yep. All right, so double punted. 2 mistakes on top of 1. Yep, could have sacrificed the Nicol Bolas. I was just so tunnel visioned on my creatures. That's so weird. People are so strange. It really amazes me how many people are like, gosh, you're so loud. Life must be really difficult, not realizing that you can adjust the volume on your computer. There's this speaker icon in the corner of your computer. It's different on my Linux computer, otherwise I'd show you. Because I assume if you don't know where the speaker icon is, you're probably not using Linux. The sand seems very reasonable. Go ahead and play this and pass. You're so quiet. Can you talk louder? The man in the talking box isn't loud. Make him louder, Clarence. Make him louder. Yeah, I just wanted a third game for all the entertainment, right? Entertainment purposes, a third game is much better. Land on top sounds fantastic. There's no, they're using Arc Linux, so there's no GUI. That makes sense. That makes sense. The Twitch stream is just playing in the background of their terminal, their TTY terminal. Yeah, Ritual is looking potentially very good next turn. Hopefully they play out like another creature here that gets cleaned up by it. Deal, sounds good. Tasty. Now, like, this Branchwalker did draw them a card, so this is technically just a 2-for-1, but it's alleviating enough pressure that it feels good. What is the Linux? I don't understand. Why are there lines on your computer? Why would you want that? What do we got? Play a 3-mana creature that Angrath can kill. Linux, isn't that the blanket kid from Charlie Brown? Oh, they tapped their lands wrong. They could have played the elf there if they'd have tapped correctly.
Never see no fire, no steam.
It's hammer time. Give him the hammer time. The old Star of Extinction gearing up here. Woof.
Fire and fury.
Yeah, and Angrath is really sweet. I've been really happy with him. Yeah, somebody should go make a Reddit thread on my opponent's behalf, letting everybody know how badly the auto tapper got them. So they're gonna get to reborn back my Angrath next turn, which is not too big of a deal because Star of Extinction is gonna clean that up too. Hopefully they tap out low enough next turn that they don't have the Memorial to Folly up, so I can Star of Extinction the Memorial. But for the record, I'm not starring this turn because I want to be able to clear whatever they get back with the Eldest Reborn as well. They could get their Carnage Tyrant back. I really hope they get their Carnage Tyrant back, because that would be better than Angrath for me, because then I don't have to discard a card. What do we got going on? Whoa! This is like the world's most on flavor Star of Extinction. What an easy game. We're totally gonna lose this game after I said what an easy game, but I would like the record to reflect that was thematic. Just a wonderful on theme Star of Extinction. Sha. Got him. Woof. Never beating Vivian Reed in a million years. Never beating Vivian Reed in a million years. One Contempt, please. Nope. Yeah, the fact that we got the Memorial to Folly in that Star of Extinction 2 is just excellent. It was like killing 3 Carnage Tyrants, really. I think Vivian Reed's gonna bury us in the ground. Not a whole lot I could do in this third game, but I definitely messed up the second game, right? Like I punted the second game of this match pretty hard. This doesn't do anything because Vivian's just gonna shoot it down. No, I didn't side a Contempt out, but I chose not to board the 4th Contempt in, if that's what you're referring to. Which they're similar, but different. There's also like while obviously Vraska's Contempt's very good in that spot, there's gonna be other games where they just like play a bunch of Wild Growth Walkers and get underneath us where they're gonna be far less good. This hand's probably not good enough, right? This hand's probably not good enough. Especially on the draw. I think if this was on the play, I'd keep this, but like, they just get 3 turns. Just do whatever they want. I am gonna get to cast all of my spells, though. I think I'm supposed to mulligan that. Alright, welcome to Magic. Hopefully we run some lands off here. This hand's much better if we hit a land or 2. Watch us draw like Basic Mountain and just not be able to cast any of our spells. How many best of 3s on average do I play with each deck? It varies pretty wildly. Usually I play decks for somewhere between 60 and 90 minutes, so it depends on how many games the deck is capable of getting in that time and how fast my opponents play. I always play a minimum of at least 2 matches. Usually we play upwards of 4 to 5. I have enough removal spells here that if we hit land starting this turn, we could end up being okay. That's probably the death knell. I don't think we can miss 2 turns and still be in this. Depends on how good the rest of their hand is. Five drops are a lot like lands. You're not wrong. Great, moving along. Maybe we try and fit the 4th Contempt in this time around. If you're new to the stream and you're wondering why I'm not playing a given card, instead of demanding that I tell you specifics about why, instead make a reasonable suggestion. Say, I think you should be playing this card and it's better than this other card that you're already playing for these reasons. Generate discussions. Instead of just suggesting that the man in the talkie box validate all of the choices to you. if you make a discussion, sometimes you're right, and maybe we should add something and make a change to what the deck that we're playing. But other times it's like, well, if you can't think of a good reason to play the card, maybe we shouldn't play it. Generates a good back and forth. I think getting the last Contempt in here is probably a good idea. I think leaving Eldest Reborn out is fine. I think trimming the clunkier counterspells is also reasonable. Yeah, let's give this a go. We play Reborns over Cast Downs because we have Ritual of Soot. I don't know. Eldest Reborn's just pretty mediocre in these matchups a lot of the time. They just have so many, like, crappy little creatures that the Edict effect isn't good, and a card that doesn't impact the board for 2 turns is really slow a lot of the time. Speaking of Blightning, I wonder if we're gonna get a Rakdos Return reprint. Anybody remember that gem? That card was real sweet last time we were in Ravnica. Those are 3 pretty good ones. Sure, and I'm asking you to just like exert some thought into why we would want to play it. Think about why those other control decks play it and what they're doing. The best way to learn is to try and form good thoughts and make good discussions. And you don't even have to be correct. Like if you say something like, I think this could be why you want to play it, then we could talk about why that's right or why that's wrong. But just like, if I just have to justify every card choice to every person, we're not going to ever get anything done, right? And like, if I justify something in one way, it might be not the way you were thinking about it. So I spend time explaining myself in a way that's not even helpful to you ultimately. I mean, do I really care about the Duress though? Like, why do I care about the Duress? Vivian's gonna generate card advantage, and it's their cheapest card. Whereas, like here, I can like kill this elf, and like they're pretty far off of this Carnage Tyrant. So like, hopefully I'm gonna find other things to do between now and then. And my sequencing there is a little bit mediocre. I should have cast it down on my turn or whatever, but not a big deal at the end of the day. My opponent's gamble on taking my cantrip to try and make me stumble on land drops is paying off for them here. Try and keep my health a little bit high here. It's possible I should have just exiled the Merfolk Branchwalker last turn either. So cutting cards like Negate and Dive Down for cards like Azcanta does increase the consistency that the deck would have, but at the same time, you need to realize that a card like Azcanta is spending mana to not impact the board, so it's not free. Your deck is more consistent, but at the cost of your deck, it's more consistent, but at the cost of getting run over by decks that are able to put pressure on the table. So you're right, in a world where like nobody's impacting you at all for forever, cards like Azcanta is great because they allow you to sculpt your game plan into the perfect game plan. But if your opponent has any reasonable plays in the first, 3 or 4 turns of the game, you're just gonna get run out. Angrath's been really good in every deck I've put him in, Highs. Just been consistently overperformed. They bin the Carnage Tyrant here, which makes me think maybe they have another Carnage Tyrant.
Hard a larboard. The other larboard, fool!
They have another Carnage Tyrant. Double Carnage, Vomit. Alright, well, I think...
No fire, no steel.
I think I just do this... and then do this and make them discard the other one.
Here be monsters. No fire, no steel.
No fire, no steel. So they can Memorial to Folly, pick a Carnage Tyrant back up, and like gamble that they're gonna draw a 6 land tier that's untapped, which is probably the line, honestly. I think if I was them, that's the line I would take here. So we're hoping they don't draw an untapped land tier. Perfect, they didn't. So Angrath's gonna go ahead and rip the Carnage Tyrant out of their hand again. We'd really like to draw Ritual of Soot here. Whoa, they didn't hit my Angrath. That's really good for me.
No fire, no steel.
I feel like not hitting my Angrath there is a mistake, because like if they were keeping this on top, they should have hit my Angrath, because like now my Angrath is going to take this other Carnage Tyrant out of their hand. So yeah, I think my opponent mismanaged the resources here a little bit. I think if they were going to keep this, they should have pressured my Planeswalker. This card was very good this game. We've discarded like 6 Carnage Tyrants this game. Just mono bin the Carnage Tyrants. What on God's green earth does this attack mean? They don't have 6 mana. I think it just means they're dead, right? Is there any reason to block here? Because they're dead to the 6/6, right? Finality's not a card. It's them. I think it's them conceding. I'm just not gonna block. It's a daily quest. That's probably it. It's a daily quest. All right. I just want, and those are, you just want to like take a moment and think, right? Like off the top of my head, I'm like, there's nothing that punishes me here, right? But like, am I missing something? There's nothing that kills me, right? But there could be something that kills my Doom Whisperer, so like, why give them the opportunity to hit it? I think I'm happy with how we boarded. It was a sweet game. A lot of good back and forth there. A lot of good decisions on both sides of that game. This is going to be our last game with the Grixis control deck, and then we're going to be rolling right along to the next thing on the list today. What do we got? It's got Mono Black Banefire coming up next, which is one of my personal favorites in this current standard format. It's probably my pick for my favorite control deck. This hand needs a black source real bad, but the spells are real good if we find one. Yeah, the standard format's great to link between. And the sweetest Angrath deck is probably the 4-color control deck that we've played. Never didn't have it. Always had the Drowned Catacomb. Shh. All right, so I think I just take Chupi here. I'm gonna bin a non-black source. Would you agree that Spell Pierce is often better than Negate? No. So Spell Pierce is much better in aggressive decks because it's more resource efficient, but a card like Spell Pierce has diminishing returns. It's a card that becomes dead as the game goes along. But I think it's the best Banefire deck. The Mono Black Banefire deck I think is very good. The MTGO Traders code is just Hoagland PayPal. Yeah, we've made a couple of small changes already, J-Dump Wolf. We could talk about the changes that I made and why I made them. Honestly, the core of this deck feels pretty trim. I think any suggestions I'm gonna have are gonna be kind of minor, like Thief, maybe another Thief of Sanity. I'm really a pretty big fan of this card. I also think there's like, let's attack them first before I play this Thought Erasure. think I need another discard spell here. Potentially famous last words. All right, I guess I should have Thought Erasure before I hit with the thing. I think I'm supposed to take Vraska Relic Seeker here because there's a good chance that Thief of Sanity finds me something to answer their Carnage Tyrant. Well, so if they have a removal spell in their hand, playing the Thought Erasure doesn't protect it from the removal spell because they're going to cast the removal spell regardless. They're just going to cast it in response. That's how things end up working. Well, this makes any Explore creatures I find off their deck next turn better. We're hoping to dodge another Carnage Tyrant here. No blocks. Yeah, but the big Vraska would still kill my Thief of Sanity. Alright, I got punished. Jade Light Ranger, please. Deal. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. Triggers. This is it. I need to use my called shot powers for evil more often. Just like more called shots that benefit me, less called shots that benefit them. All right. So I do this. I take 9. 2 trample plus 7, go to 4. Want to hit another Explore creature off the top of their deck here, ideally. Yeah, Spell Pierce would have been really bad there, worth noting. I think I just want the Landwar Elf. No, because I want the ability for my Wild Growth Walker to live, because if I found another Explorer creature this turn, having my Wild Growth Walker live would be a big deal. I think I just put them on a 2-turn clock, right? I'm just gonna go ahead and keep Vraska's Contempt up here. Alright, so thoughts on this build of Grixis Control. So I think one of the strengths of playing the Grixis deck in this format is being able to lean into good evasive threats like the Thief of Sanity, Nicol, Bolas, Doom Whisperer, like that curve or suite of creatures I think is really good. One thing that felt a little bit awkward in this list that I'm not a fan of in these tap-out style control decks is that, like, having to hold up cards like Sinister Sabotage feels a little bit clunky to me a lot of the time. So I think what I would like to do with this list is just a small change. I think I would cut these Sabotages and then probably this Essence Scatter and Negate, and I would bring all of these Thought Erasures into the main deck, and I would go up to a fourth Thief of Sanity. So I think one of the strongest things you can do in blue-black in this format is curve Thought Erasure into Flying Threat, and this build can curve Thought Erasure into Thief, into Nicol Bolas, into Doom Whisperer, and if any of these cards stick, you're gonna pull ahead in a really big way when you do that. I think if I wanted more counterspells in the sideboard, I would just jam Scatters, Negates, Spell Pierces, stuff like that. Probably not Spell Pierce or mid-range deck, but like 2 or 3 Negates in the sideboard for when my counterspells are good. Because there's going to be a lot of games where your Spell Pierces are your counterspells, sorry, are dead draws. Whereas like Thought Erasure almost always has text, right? Thought Erasure is also a card because of its Surveil 1, it's really powerful, so it helps smooth out our draws and helps us hit our land drops consistently or not flood out when we're playing 26 lands. So I like the core of the mixture of what this deck's doing. Angrath just continues to vastly overperform in every deck that I play him in. Yeah, I can post an updated deck list. Let me add some cards to the sideboard really quick. So shove 3 Negates in here is probably fine. And I will post an updated one on Stream Decker here. I think Disdainful Stroke is kind of mediocre. I think most of the places where you want Disdainful Stroke, you'd rather just have Negate post board. And the big reason for that is the big spell that you would want to counter with Disdainful Stroke is like Niv Mizzet. And Niv Mizzet, you can't Disdainful Stroke, right? So I will update the Grixis control list here on Stream Decker, and then we're going to roll on into Mono Black Banefire here. All right, the Grixis control deck is now updated. I like the cheeky dive down. I do like a cheeky dive down. All right, let's post a screenshot of Rudy. The One Arcane Encyclopedia is quite fantastic. I'm a big fan of it.